What if the line between humans and animals isn't as clear as we think? We often believe intelligence, emotion, and connection belong to us. But out there, in forests, oceans, and skies, something familiar is happening. Animals are learning, remembering, feeling. Some comfort each other. Some plan ahead. Some even seem to understand loss. They don't speak our language, but their actions feel strangely close to home. Tonight, we step into that blurred boundary where instinct begins to look like thought. 20 animals that behave more like humans than you'd expect. 1. Chimpanzee. In the forest, a young chimpanzee watches carefully as an older one uses a stick to gather termites. It doesn't rush. It observes. Then it tries, fails, adjusts, tries again. Over time, the skill becomes natural. This isn't random behavior. It's learning through observation, passed from one generation to the next. Different groups even develop slightly different techniques. That's not just survival, it's culture. In that quiet moment, you're not just seeing an animal adapt, you're witnessing knowledge being shared. Without words. 2. Dolphin. Beneath the surface, dolphins communicate through a series of clicks and whistles. But it's more than sound. Each individual has a unique signature call, almost like a name. They recognize one another, respond, and remember. In complex social groups, these calls help maintain relationships over time. It's not just communication, it's identity. In a world without visible expressions, sound becomes personality. And in that system, you begin to see something familiar, connection that goes beyond instinct. 3. Elephant. When an elephant dies, others often return to the same place. They touch the bones gently, standing in silence for long moments. There's no clear survival benefit to this behavior. And yet, it repeats. It suggests memory, recognition, perhaps even grief. Elephants remember individuals for years, sometimes decades. In their slow, deliberate movements, there's a depth that feels emotional. Not loud, not dramatic, just present. And that presence feels deeply human. 4. Crow. A crow doesn't just react, it thinks. It can solve multi-step problems, use tools, and remember faces that have threatened it. Even more surprising, it can pass that information to others. If one crow learns danger, others learn too. That's not instinct. It's shared knowledge. It plans, adapts, and adjusts based on experience. In many ways, it behaves less like a bird and more like a strategist. 5. Dogs don't just hear us, they read us. A shift in tone, a subtle change in posture, even silence. They notice, and they respond. When someone is upset, many dogs move closer, calmer, more attentive. It's not trained behavior, it's sensitivity. Over thousands of years, dogs have adapted to human emotion, not by understanding words, but by understanding feeling. And sometimes, that's enough. 6. Cat. Unlike dogs, cats communicate more selectively, but when they interact with humans, their behavior changes. The sounds they make, soft, varied, intentional, are rarely used the same way with other cats. It's as if they've learned a different language just for us, not out of necessity, but adaptation. Quiet, controlled, and surprisingly precise. 7. Capuchin monkey. In controlled experiments, capuchin monkeys have shown something unexpected, a sense of fairness. When one monkey receives a better reward for the same task, the other reacts. refusing the lesser reward. It's not about survival. It's about perception, a reaction to inequality, something we often consider deeply human, appearing in a small primate. 8. Wolf. A wolf pack doesn't function through chaos. It's structured, organized. Each member has a role, and coordination is key to survival. During hunts, they communicate through movement, timing, and positioning. Success depends on cooperation, not strength alone. It's not unlike a team working toward a shared goal. Each part essential to the outcome. 9. Magpie. Few animals can recognize themselves in a mirror. The magpie can. When marked with a visible spot, it will attempt to remove it after seeing its reflection. That moment, recognizing self, is rare. It suggests awareness beyond instinct. A glimpse of identity. 10. Humpback whale. Across the ocean, humpback whales produce long, structured songs. These patterns evolve over time, spreading through populations like trends. One group changes, others follow. It's not random. It's shared, learned behavior. A form of cultural transmission, carried by sound. 11. Baboon. In a baboon troop, relationships are everything. Alliances form, hierarchies shift. Individuals remember past interactions and adjust behavior accordingly. It's social complexity that mirrors human communities, not just survival, but strategy, connection, and memory shaping every decision. 12. Sea otter. A sea otter may carry a favorite stone for years, using it repeatedly to open shells. It's not just a tool, it becomes a personal object. Something familiar, something reliable. A small habit that feels surprisingly human. 13. Pigeon. Often underestimated, pigeons can recognize hundreds of images, patterns, and even human faces. Their memory is precise, long-lasting, and adaptable. They don't just react, they learn, retain, and apply information over time. 14. Octopus. An octopus explores its environment with curiosity. It opens containers, manipulates objects, and solves problems in ways that seem almost deliberate. It doesn't follow a fixed pattern. It experiments. Trial, error, adjustment. A process that feels very close to human learning. 15. Orcas live in groups with distinct hunting styles, passed down through generations. Different pods use different techniques, even in the same environment. That's not instinct, it's culture. Learned behavior shared within a community. 16. Ant. An ant alone is simple, but together they form complex systems, division of labor, communication, coordination. The colony behaves like a single organism, structured, efficient, purpose-driven. 17. Young sparrows learn their songs by listening to others. Without that exposure, their calls remain incomplete. It's not instinct alone, it's learning. Much like language. 18. Seahorse. In seahorses, the male carries and protects the young. It's a reversal of roles, but the behavior itself, care, protection, patience, feels familiar. A quiet form of responsibility. 19. A bear remembers. Locations, threats, food sources, stored and recalled over time. Experience shapes behavior. Mistakes aren't repeated. It learns, adapts, and survives through memory. 20. Rat. In studies, rats have been observed helping trapped companions, even when there's no reward. It's not driven by gain. It's driven by something else. Recognition. Response. maybe even empathy. By now, the pattern is clear. These behaviors, learning, memory, emotion, cooperation, they're not exclusive. They exist across species, across environments, across forms of life. Maybe what makes humans different isn't what we can do, but what we thought only we could do. And out there, in quiet places we rarely notice, something is thinking, feeling, learning, in ways that don't look human, but feel surprisingly close. And maybe the boundary we imagined was never really there at all.